Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Just Women Talking Shit with your host, Jacqueline Cotton.
Hey sis, what if your next breakthrough wasn't just behind the screen of your phone, but in the red rocks of Sedona, Arizona? I'm inviting you to an all-inclusive women-only retreat in the heart of Sedona, Arizona from July 7th through 11th, 2025. Designed for entrepreneurs, creators, and women ready to deepen their purpose, elevate their voice and brand, and be seen. Just get yourself to the airport and I will take care of the rest. Transportation, nourishing meals, cozy accommodations, and memory-making moments on and off camera. Look, this is more than just creating content. It's connection. Think sisterhood, strategy, self-discovery, and sunsets you'll never forget. Whether you're building a brand or reclaiming your voice, you belong here. Find me on Instagram at Jacqueline Cotton to reserve your space. Private rooms and shared rooms are available. Let's make magic in the desert.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Just Women Talking Shit with your host, Jacqueline Cotton.
Hello, all my beautiful people. Jacqueline here. We're going to do a shoot this. It's been a minute since I've done one of these. I can't even say it. Shoot the shit and smoke sesh. And I'll probably repurpose it as a podcast episode because I need to put one of those out tomorrow. But hey, how the fuck are you? So, I just got back from, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Got back Monday, so I was gone for 5 days. Went to the Ozarks. Took our camper I bought. Also, just recently found out that I'm most likely bipolar, so this large purchase out of nowhere makes sense now. But back in January, I bought a brand new 2025 Gulfstream 17BH. If you know anything about campers, then all of that matters. So I bought it shortly after I decided I was taking my daughter out of school and going to homeschool her. Because let me tell you something, kids at school and even teachers at school these days, complete assholes. I don't know what it's like where you're at, but they're complete assholes. And it feels like where I'm at is like a cookie cutter. We all need to be the same. And she's definitely not the same. I'm not the same. I was picked on a lot as a kid too. So it makes sense. But the difference is that she's got a mom who is super present and is able to see how her mental health was suffering from it. So in 2020, her dad passed away, and it was really fucking suddenly. So she was 7 then. And they were best friends, absolute best friends. She was a daddy's girl, all the things, right? So navigating this has been it's been hard. It's been interesting, all those things, right? But I drew the line whenever she started telling me that kids were making fun of her, making jokes about her dad being dead, calling her like a grave baby and all this weird shit. So I can't remember the exact date I took her out, but a lot of people told me, go to the school, talk to the school, advocate. What are they going to do? They're not going to do shit. Because from my experience in being in grade school, because I was the weird kid, I was definitely the quiet kid. My family had a bad reputation, so I think people just figured I was going to be the same. And it has been the driving force as to why I have dove so deeply into things like neuroscience, neuroplasticity, personal development, hypnosis, spirituality, all those things, right? Because I didn't want to be like everybody else. I wanted to decide for myself who I got to be, and didn't know I had mental illness at the time. But all of these things that I personally went through as a child, as a teenager, adolescent years, I truly feel like prepared me to be able to identify when my daughter or even my son or my stepsons were struggling with that. And so it was really a no-brainer for me whenever it started getting to where she was staying super depressed, not looking forward to going to school anymore, stuff like that. It was a no-brainer for me to just yank her out, right? And part of that was like, you know what? I'm just going to make this decision. Nobody's going to tell me what to do. And I'm going to raise my babies the way I always dreamt of raising them. And that was being able to, if need be, homeschool. And this shirt swallows me up. I just realized how big it is. But be able to like live life on my terms. So part of that was probably a bipolar episode where I just said I gotta have a camper. And it all magically came together to where I bought this camper and we just took our first trip. So let me tell you about this trip. We went to the Ozarks. I'll rewind a tad bit. Why do we go to the Ozarks? I have a client who lives in and around the Ozarks. And I flew to see her last summer and we did some in-person work. I filmed content, stuff like that. And we smoked a bunch of blunts and we got on there. I would call it a small yacht. I don't know if we can call it a yacht, but nicer than anything I've ever been on. So we went on this boat and I fell in love with the Ozarks. Absolutely fucking in love with the Ozarks. So it was a no-brainer when Emma said, you should come and you should bring your camper and bring your kids. So I brought my 2 kids. I say my 2 kids because my stepsons are not my bio babies. I call mine bio babies and they're my bonus babies, right? So that, and the camper only sleeps, I think technically 1, 2, 3, 5. I feel you could do more than that because I would say this has been our littlest and I could sleep. That's 3. And then honestly, the bunks for 2 of his sons are pretty small. So I feel they could sleep together if they really wanted to. Well, they wouldn't even have to sleep on the bunk. The table, the dinette turns into a bed, which is pretty big in my opinion. So I feel like we could sleep everybody, but it's just like, that's pretty much all we're going to be doing is sleeping in there. But also this trip was more so for me to get a reset mentally and be able to connect with my kids. I'm going to take a couple more puffs of this and we're going to be done because I told myself I was cutting back. So we went because I met her last summer and we had such a great time. I was like, I cannot wait to come back. And then we were on one of our one-on-one calls here recently. Well, I guess about a month ago. So Emma and I were on one of our one-on-one calls because I'm a business coach and I'm a damn good business coach. But you can only do so much through these videos, right? So we had this idea. Let me come up. I'll stay for close to a week and it would be really beautiful to be able to capture you in your element and do a little bit more than creating content. Because I feel like when you are creating content and it's curated, let's just be real, you're planning it all out and you don't get to just exist, which is my whole brand's mission is to help people get paid to exist. And with getting paid to exist, we take things into consideration like your mental health, your trauma, your overall vision for a lifestyle. All these things matter. We play on your strengths, right? There's just a lot that goes into getting paid to exist because getting paid to exist means that you're doing more than working. You're doing something that you love. You would be doing it anyway. If money wasn't a thing, you'd be doing it anyway. If it is part of your life, that's getting paid to exist. So it's not something where you dread it every day. It's not something where you hate clocking in. You have more good days than bad when it comes to your brand. That's getting paid to exist. This comes in the form of things like for her, it's turning their ranch, a little part of the ranch, turning it into a healing center. And so that would allow her to get paid to exist because she'd wake up every day doing what she loves, getting to do Reiki with her horse. So that's what we're working on right now. But I think it's really important to be able to capture things through the lens of a person who is watching you. So that's what we did. Now, and I don't know if you saw the video, and if you're listening to this, because I already just decided in my head, this is going to be a podcast episode, so get ready. If you pop on here and ask me any questions, I'm going to answer them live, and it will be in the episode. But I had this idea, I want to just film you while we're hanging out, and most of the time she didn't even know she was being filmed. But the most beautiful part that you guys have seen so far was the preview or the sneak peek that I created. And if you're listening to the podcast episode, go to my Instagram at Jacqueline Cotton and you'll see it. But I got to capture Emma, do a Reiki session and a deep meditation with my daughter. My daughter is 12 years old. My daughter wanted to do this. We had a full discussion. We led up to it to make sure that it was something she wanted to do and she felt she would benefit from. And she made a very adult decision to go through an energy healing session. And it was really beautiful. I got to watch it as her mom, but I also got to film it. And oh my gosh, so freaking cool. But that's what we went up there for, me to create content, capture content. And for some of my clients, I create it for them too. This is more the done for you side of my business coaching. So my company is called Cotton Coaching and Content. And I don't talk about that enough. That's what I do. I coach, business coach. And with that, frankly, comes a lot of fucking life coaching too. However, I love it. And even when I'm not up here talking about it all the time, it's rare that I just don't have any clients. I always have clients within the past couple of years, whether it be content clients or coaching clients. I always have clients. So I'm blessed to be able to say that I have that. But I want to talk more on the coaching and the content side too. Everyone tends to think that I have really great content. And one of the things that makes my content so good and helps it stand out, and why I claim and have had people call me like a digital disruptor, even if I don't have a lot of followers, I press a lot of buttons, but I also have helped quite a few people through my content because it is so unfiltered. So that's what helps me stand out. But with my clients, I'm able to get to know these people and then help them develop their brand's voice, the brand's vibe. And I got to do that. I got to do that on this trip. Got to pretty much experience what my dream life would be like. Being able to live there for a few days in my camper, going back and forth between the camper and her house because she's so kind. And also I just love hanging out with her, and I fell asleep on their couch a couple times. But I got to experience what it is that I'm working towards. Being there is exactly what I'm working towards. I want acreage, and I want to be able to, every day I wake up without an alarm, just my body be so in tune with my farm that I'm just up in the morning, rise and shine. I want to be able to look out while I'm making a pot of coffee or I like French press. Don't judge me. While I'm making my coffee, to be able to look out and just see rolling hills and cattle, and I want to be able to go out and feed my chickens every day. And so I kind of like getting to spend that time there, be the opportunity to get a taste of it. You know what I mean? So it wasn't just all work. That's what I love about the connections that I do form. And I don't have a lot of clients like this. Clients are like, we get along and I love them and they love me. But then there are those clients at the deeper level. It's like a spiritual connection. And this is one of those connections. My other connection is my friend Katie. And she started as a client. And she's now one of I would say these two are my best friends. And so it was a lot of fun. If you've not yet been to the Ozarks, Arkansas is wonderful. So beautiful. Missouri is wonderful. Missouri is recreational for those that like cannabis. So there's that. But it was just a wonderful trip getting to what it would be like a day in that life, or in our case, 4 or 5 days in that life. And what was really cool was, so my daughter did the Reiki session, right? That's who you saw on the table in that video if you haven't watched it yet. And that's what I was trying to tell y'all earlier, is if you're listening to this episode, then just go to Jacqueline Cotton on Instagram and you'll see there's a video. And the thumbnail is going to be of my client Emma and her horse Flash. I have arms, I swear. They're being hidden by the shirt, but she's got her horse Flash and she's walking him towards the table. And so look for that video because that's the kind of work that I do. And I want to do more of it. I want to do more of these weekends with me. I'll leave the kids at home. Okay. We can get a lot done, but you'll get to one. Oh, we got to pop that. Snap, crackle, pop over here like Rice Krispies. So I was popping my neck. I always forget that I need to tell people as well what I'm doing because I always use these as the podcast episodes too. Now I forgot what I was saying. Oh, I just, video. Yeah. You need to go watch it. And I want to start doing more of this. That's where I was at. The VIP content days or weekends. Weekends would be for someone, or it would probably be 2 or 3 days actually, because I feel the need to get to spend some time with you, hang out with you. So about 2 days would be good, and capture what it is that you do. If you're working with animals, let me capture that. If you are working with some clients in person, let me capture that. Because like I was saying earlier, when you do it yourself, it's very curated. You know what I mean? That's why I like doing these lives, because I fuck up I say shit that I don't even know what it means half the time, but it's not rehearsed. Do you know what I mean? So like, you go and you look at a carousel, that shit is rehearsed. You know, one I just did before this, me posing in the water, I didn't stay in that water for very long. It was too fucking cold. But it looks like I'm out there having a blast. I was having a blast, actually. I was having a lot of fun because I got to see my kids in the White River. How fucking cool is that? It's so beautiful there. But the water is so fucking cold because it is coming straight off the mountains. And it is cold. I've been there twice now. And both times it has been freezing. It's like, so I was having a good time. But what I'm saying is like, they're curated. It's a pose. Unless it's a candid, which if you look at the end of that carousel of me in the water in the White River, the end, not rehearsed. I was about to fall on my face. And I was laughing so hard. It was like, that would my luck. I'd trip over this little pebble that pokes me in the foot and down the river she goes. So that part wasn't curated, but everything up to that point is so curated. I'm going to do this pose and then, right? So it's like, the world right now needs to hire somebody like me so that your content is not as curated. And what's really cool is like all the filming that I did for Emma this weekend, that is easily a year's worth of content. And what I find is a lot of people, especially new coaches who maybe don't have the confidence, or if you're not tech savvy or you just don't enjoy creating content, it would be really beneficial to you to hire somebody and spend, what is a VIP content day weekend. The days would be like you come to me, but if you want me to come for a weekend, I could come to you. So, but the I'd like to take that out of it because when you're creating your own content as a coach, like, I think we need to see you coaching. I think people for her, she's a Reiki healer. Okay, we need to see her Reiki healing, not in front of a screen and going, whatever the fucking trend is of the week. Like, less curation and more existing. And that's what I want to capture. So this trip, though, it was so can't wait to go back. We're talking about, I'm already thinking of how to present this to my husband. She's like, you can come back once a month, stay like a week a month. And I'm like, that's 12 weeks out of the year. That's a few months out of the year. What? Hold on. That's kind of like true for me. I want a farm life. I want the farmland. And I want to be doing something I love. That's the whole paid to exist vibe, right? So do I want to do that? Do I want to go a week out of the month to stay in Missouri and live in my camper on this beautiful farm and create content and help her start this healing center? Huh? So like, now I'm with a little land to show my husband, hey, this is how it's going to work. I'm leaving for a month. For every month to go live somewhere else and work somewhere else. Okay. I have more thing. I have not told anybody, but no, I'm not going to say I haven't told anybody. I've not announced it online to anybody. And I've only told a few people that are like really close to me. So you guys I'm about to do it, and I'll make like an official day, but I wanted to tell you, and I wanted to wait till the ink dried until I knew it was for real, because my lizard brain wants to tell me, oh, that's crazy. That's a scam, that you're not worth it. That's I don't know. I just thought it was going to fall through. Lizard brain, right? But it didn't. And I got presented with the contract and I got offered the position. So I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all. Are you ready? My boobs are jiggling. I didn't know that was going to happen. Okay. I have a coaching collaboration with the one and only She Heals the World. So they have brought me on as one of their business coaches. And they are worldwide. You can look them up here on Instagram. Worldwide. And I get to do what I love. I get to work with women who are actually doing this. People don't have to convince. They're ready. They're take on the world. I get to be part of that. And there's the opportunity to become partner down the line. So if you've not heard of She Heals the World, go check them out. They're amazing. They've been around for 15 years. That's a huge accomplishment in the coaching industry, to be around for 15 years and globally recognized. So I was, needless to say, when I had my phone interview with the founder, and I'm still like in my about it. I'm like, because phone tag, like they have kind of chased, and still just in my mind, I'm just like, little old me, what? But they picked me and I picked them. And so I will be running one of their masterminds, and Oh no, my cat got a lizard, God. Luca, fuck. He's like gonna gut in front of me. Ugh. No! Stop! I can't act shit like that. Luca, stop it. Stop! Leave him alone. You are such he's not an asshole, he's being a cat. That's the way to end this episode. I just got offered a huge coaching position with She Heals the World, and now I'm gonna go save this lizard that's being attacked and ripped apart. It's just terrible. But thank you for congratulating me. I'll do an official post today. But all in all, great trip. It now has me in this headspace of, we got to do more of this. Jacqueline will come to you. Okay, I'll either you, or if you got some land and you need me to film there, I will bring my camper and I will come and we will film and we will do all the things that you need to get done so that your brand has content for an entire year, so that you have your entire business strategy for the year, your content strategy, your posting strategy. We'll get all your offers created. We'll get all your Stripe links set up. We'll get you set up for buy now, pay later options so that all your clients can pay you through Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay, stuff like that. It can help you get everything done in an entire weekend. That's what Emma kind of made this weekend, is like, we got so much done and 2 kids here. So it just goes to show that when you are super focused and this poor lizard, leave him alone, Luca. All right, I'm going to go kick this cat's ass, this poor lizard. Oh my God. I don't know if he should put it out of its misery or what. So sad. But yeah, sorry to episode like this. This poor lizard though. Thank you again. I hope that you all listening on Just Women Talking Shit don't hate me for talking shit about my cat, but I don't know, it's like nature, but it just bothers me. And I hope that you check out all the content that we're going to be putting out here soon for Emma. You should go check her out. Embodied by Emma is her Instagram account. And I tag her in a lot of stuff on Instagram too, so you can find her there. And I think that's it. Don't forget to share episodes with your friends. We need this to more people. I want to start bringing on some really big names onto the show. I do have a wait list of like 100 people already waiting to be on the show. I'm sitting on probably 10 recordings at a time. I'm backlogged, all the things. So it's getting there, but it'll only get bigger if you start doing, your part, which is share this episode, or I have like a really archive of interviews with some great experts and great in general, with great stories and wonderful, like just depth knowledge and wisdom, I would say. So whenever you find one of those episodes, I would just recommend, when it's helping you or somebody comes to mind, I think it's really important that we share it. So some things I'm going to try to do better on. I'm going to, for my interviews, I'm going to start, I think, getting some questions together beforehand. I've really just been kind of winging it. I've been listening to the Mel Robbins podcast a lot lately, and she really inspires me to be more organized. She's a whole team behind her. So obviously, there's a lot of that and doing the research and stuff, but I think I need to make more time for that so I can make the show more pleasurable for all of you. And it would also probably help with the editing process too. So, it's been great. I'm about to go drop this camper off at my brother's and just see what the day holds. I've got an appointment here in a little bit I got to go to, but outside of that, I think it's just let's try to get back in your zone, because I've got podcast interviews tomorrow. I've got client calls, all the things. And if you're ever curious about working with me, I'm always accepting clients. I'm not always accepting one-on-one clients, but I'm always accepting clients. I have, my package, which is back and forth, text, voice messages, screen recording, stuff like that. And that's always open for enrollment until the program comes out, which I'll keep y'all posted on. It's not done yet. So I love y'all. I'll see you later. If you need to go smoke, get your little smoke. But overall, have a beautiful day on purpose. And if you get the chance to go see Arkansas, Missouri, any part of the Ozarks, do it. It is so fucking beautiful.